Hi Yogi, welcome to Yoga with Alina, and today we're going to flow through a 60-minute class that is focused completely on backbends. I'm using 2 blocks for this practice. You can do it without any blocks. It might be a little bit difficult though, so make sure that you have at least one. I'll be honest with you on this one. And get yourself ready. I'll see you on the mat in just a couple of moments. We're going to start this practice in Supta Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet together. We're going to lay down, but not on the floor, not right now. Grab your prop, grab your block, and you're going to bring it a little lower than your shoulder blades. We're starting to open up the heart right from the very beginning. If it's too hard on your neck, you can bring the other prop and place it underneath your head as well. Just make sure that your heart is the highest point right now, and then you can close your eyes. And as always, starting the practice simply by bringing our minds into this space, into right here, right now, disconnecting from the craziness of the outside world and starting to tune inward. Begin noticing any sensations, feelings, emotions, thoughts. And when you feel ready, you can start deepening your breath as well. Deep inhales, matching long, long exhales. We're starting to send the air up and down the back of the throat. We're starting to create a beautiful ocean-like sound. I really want to challenge you to stay with this breath for the entire practice, to really commit to the sound of the breath. And we're going to stay here for another couple of rounds, just to get into the flow. Together, let's do one more deep inhale. And exhale, let it go. Keeping the breath going, set up an intention for the practice before we go any further into this practice, into this flow. Why are you here? What brought you here? And what is it that's going to keep you here the entire practice? Very personal question. And once you've done that, we're going to start moving. Use your arms. Keep the legs exactly as they are, but use your arms to lift yourself up, coming into your regular Baddha Konasana. You're going to sit up nice and tall, and then grab your toes and pull the crown of the head forward. Remember that this is the very beginning of the practice. You don't have to expect too much out of your body. You don't have to ask too much out of your body right now. We're just waking it up. But I do want you to focus on nice long back. So draw the shoulder blades down the back, and the neck is staying really nice and long. Inhale is going to lift you out of it. Grab your ankles and slide the heels in a little closer to your body. We'll do this again in slightly different position. We'll feel a tiny bit different. You're going to use the strength of your thighs to push the knees out. Shoulders away from the ears still, the neck is long, crown of the head is going forward. Starting to get into our hips right away, because believe it or not, back bends are in a lot of ways about hips. They start with your hips. We're going to inhale and lift ourselves back up. Beautiful job. And try to do this next part without using your hands. And don't hate me for this, please. Slide the heels in a little closer as well. Reach the arms forward. This is a little hip mobility exercise. You're going to bring the knees together, soles of the feet down on the floor. Lean forward and try to lift your hips off the ground without using your hands. I know it's not easy, so try it a couple of times. If it didn't work out without using your hands, you can use your hands. Fine with me. Just as long as you're trying, as long as you're here, committed, I'm happy. But this is not all. We're going to try to lift the heels off the ground without using the hands as well. Straighten out your spine. Find that balance. Again, if it's not working out without using your hands, it's okay. Use your hands after you've tried it for a couple of times. And then with a lot of control, we're lowering the knees down to the ground for a toe stretch. Keep your arms lifted, especially if you haven't used them yet, because we're gonna do this again. Let's lean back and lift the knees off the floor. Very, very careful, controlled movements. Lower the heels down to the ground. Lower the hips down to the ground. And then separate the knees, bring the soles of the feet together. All right, I promise you this is going to be one last time. Lift the knees together, bring the soles of the feet down on the floor. Lean forward, lift the hips off the ground. Lift the heels up. And then lower your knees down as controlled as possible. Once your back and your toes stretch, you're going to lower the hands down and make sure that all 10 toes are getting some action here. Even the pinky ones, take a few moments, adjust the pose, and then relax your body over your heels, sliding the knees even further forward, opening the arches of the feet. Inhale, bring the arms out in front of you again. Clasp the hands together and then push the palms away from the body to separate the shoulder blades. Inhale, reach the arms out, send the biceps behind the ears, open up the hearts. And then exhale, you're gonna round a little bit more. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhale, open up. And then exhale, rounding a bit more. Good, last one. Inhale, open up. Hold it for the exhale. And the next inhale is going to lift you out of it. Release the arms by your sides. But you're going to lean forward, tap out the tops of the feet. If just like me, you're at the very top of the mat, push yourself or crawl your way all the way back to the mat and take any props out of your way if you have them. Tap out the tops of the feet to let go of that stretch. Good. And we're going to switch that tops of the feet down on the floor. Roll the heels in towards one another and sit back on your heels. Make sure the heels are not rolling out, they're rolling in if anything. And then we're going to dial the fingertips back and connect the palms to the ground. If you want a bit more out of this wrist stretch, you can micro bend the elbows. Tiny little micro bend should do the trick, but don't push it too far. The very beginning of the practice as well. The heels of your palms are staying down. Good. And then I love rocking a bit side to side. If that's something that speaks to you, go for it. And from here, we're keeping it in the wrist. We're just going to flip the palms to face the ceiling. Tops of the hands are down. The fingertips are facing back. You have a choice. You can bend and straighten the elbows. If that feels good, you can wiggle your fingers. Create fists with your hands. You know what to do. Just listen to yourself. It really doesn't matter what I'm showing. Things that I'm saying are merely suggestions. What is happening is you're creating your own practice. So wiggle around, adjust, find these poses for yourself. Then we're going to inhale and lift ourselves out of it, shake out the wrists. And then lean forward, circle out your ankles, let go of that stretch. When you feel ready, we're adjusting the tabletop. Hands are coming underneath the shoulders, the knees are underneath your hips. A couple of cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly, arch the back. And then exhale, push away from the ground and puff up your back. Let's do it again. Inhale, open up. And then exhale, round and curl. Last one. Inhale, open up. Exhale, you're pushing away from the ground. You're going to hold it for just a second longer than before. And the next inhale is going to bring you back to your neutral spine. The hips are staying on top of your knees. And you're going to walk the hands forward, coming into your puppy pose. Forehead goes down on the ground. If that's enough and you already feel your shoulders, your chest, your upper back, then you're staying here. If you need a bit more, the chin goes down to the floor. Maybe even your chest, but don't push it too far because, again, remember, we're just starting out. Let's take a deep inhale. Exhale, the chest is coming tiny bit closer to the floor. Good, let's do it again. Inhale. And exhale down. Good. The next inhale, slide yourself forward, coming into Sphinx pose. Forearms are parallel to one another. The hips are going down to the floor. Toes are untucked. Pull the shoulder blades down the back and pull the chest through the arms, opening the heart. Good. Just as an option, you can extend the elbows. If you're taking that option though, make sure the hips are staying down on the floor and you're still pulling yourself forward. That will probably mean that the elbows are bent a little bit, and that is okay. And let's take another deep inhale here. Exhale, forehead goes down to the ground. Good. Slide the hands outside the mat. Elbows go towards the ceiling. The feet together, fingertips on the floor. If just like me, you have props all over the place, slide them to the side. And together, we're going to inhale, press into the fingertips, lift ourselves up. Exhale, the right shoulder goes down towards the center of the mat. Let's do it again. Inhale, back up. And exhale, the left shoulder down. One more on each side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, the right. And then inhale, lift back up. And exhale, the left. Beautiful job. Inhale through the center. You're going to lift yourself back up. Exhale, lower the forehead down to the floor. Slide the hands underneath your shoulders. Feet are pressed against the ground still. They're still staying together. The next inhale, lift the chest a couple of inches up. Hands are staying down. Imagine you're pulling yourself through your hands. I like to do that crawling motion with the hands. If that speaks to you, go for it. And we're going to squeeze the elbows and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Neck is nice and long. If you can keep that level of engagement and lift the hands off the floor, go for it. But make sure the feet are staying down. As a matter of fact, press them so much in that the knees lift up. You're still breathing. It's just the pose we're holding. Let's do it for another couple of moments. One more deep inhale. Exhale, lower the forehead back down on the floor. We're going to keep the feet exactly as they are. The hands are staying exactly as they are. And we're getting ready to go into our full cobra. But here's the thing, the hips are staying down no matter what. Yes, you will apply a bit more pressure through your hands, but the hips are staying down. Take a moment to prepare. The next inhale, press into your hands and lift up. The hips are staying down and you're pulling the chest forward. I don't care if the arms are straight or not. I don't care if you're high up off the ground. Keep pulling the chest through the arms, opening the heart. Good. If you can see this right now in the video, my fingertips are literally wide from all the pulling. We're going to take another deep inhale. And then exhale, lower the forehead down. You can use your knees for this next transition. Hands are staying exactly as they are. Tuck the toes under and push yourself up, coming into high plank. After what we just did, it should feel pretty good. The shoulders over the wrist, the heels on top of your toes. We're going to bend the knees a little bit. Arch the back like you did for cat-cows. And as you exhale, push back, coming into your downward facing dog. Not staying here yet. Inhale, lift the heels and round yourself forward. Very fluid motion is getting us back parallel to the ground in the high plank. And then exhale, bend the knees, arch the back, travel into your downward face. We're going to keep going just like this, moving at our own pace with the breath. You can go faster than what I'm showing and counting. You can go slower. But one thing I really encourage you to do is close your eyes and feel. Not about how it looks. I promise you, you're doing everything absolutely perfectly. I want you to feel this one. I want you to synchronize your breath and your movement. I want you to connect your upper and the lower body. And we'll do one more round or so. The next time you arrive into your downward facing dog, you're going to hold it there, pushing the hips back and up, sinking the heels low. Good. And as you're holding the pose, try to separate the shoulder blades as much as possible. We're going to take a breath here. And the next inhale with me, lift the heels up. Exhale, drop the heels and the hips over to the right to get into the left side body stretches. Still an upside down V shape. The left hand still has a lot of weight in it. It's just that the left side is getting more love, more attention. And we'll go to the other side together. Inhale, back up. Exhale, drop the heels and the hips over to the other side, getting into the right side body right now. Again, the right hand is staying down. You're still getting nice stretch through the right side. The hips are pushing back and up. Then inhale, back up. Exhale, the heels are sinking closer to the floor. And from this downward facing dog, I'm getting you off your wrist in just a couple of moments. Baby steps, you're walking the feet forward. Take your time, never any rush in the practice. Try to heel to your feet all the way to the top, and once you get there, shake it out, let it go. Beautiful job. And from here with me, hands behind your head, clasp hands together, find stillness with the legs if you're still moving them, and then very slowly roll yourself up to standing. Vertebra by vertebra, your head is coming up the last, and once you get to the top, you're going to release the arms by your sides and close your eyes to Tadasana Mountain Pose. Check in. The body, the breath, the mind, the intention, all that good stuff. come back to your breath. And we're moving again. Inhale, lift the arms as high up as you can. Right hand grabs the left wrist, put up and over to the right, look up. And inhale, back up, switch the grip and go over to the other side, look up again. Good, inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands behind the tailbone, clasp hands together, reach the knuckles down, open up the heart, send the hips forward. Try to keep the heels of your palms together. Inhale, lifts you back up, bend your knees and cascade your body over your thighs, letting that one fist you created fall over your head. Take a moment here. We're gonna bend the right knee. Once you bend the right knee, the right shoulder will come a bit closer to it. Look towards the left side of the room. And we're gonna go to the other side, straighten the right leg and bend the left knee, same thing. Left shoulder is coming a bit closer to the left knee, but that is happening automatically. Don't overthink it. The only movement you're actually doing is bending the left knee. Let's come back to center and take a deep inhale. Exhale, drop the hands underneath the shoulders, shake it out. We're bringing more engagement into this forward fold. Hands on the shins, blocks our floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Pull the chest in closer to your thighs. We'll do this again. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, down. Good. Last one. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to step back, coming into your high plank with the shoulders over the wrist, the heels on top of your toes. Nice long plank, bodies parallel to the ground, and we're getting ready to move through a flow. But we're switching it up today. It's not going to be vinyasa. It's going to be something that's called Ashtangasana flow. Some of you have done it with me before. Let's take a moment to prepare. And then from here with me, inhale, push the shoulders over the fingertips. Exhale, knees go down, chest and chin go between the thumbs. The hips are staying nice and lifted. Knees and hands are not moving anymore. Inhale, slide yourself forward, coming into baby cobra. I had to think about it for a second. And then from there, exhale, push back, coming into your child's pose. Remember, knees and hands are not moving. Inhale, lift up, coming into your downward facing dog. And then exhale, heels are sinking closer to the floor. We're going to take a couple of moments here and then we'll move through this flow 2 more times just for you to get into the rhythm. Nice, good flow for a backbend practice, one of my favorites. So let's take a deep inhale, preparing. Exhale, let it go. Next, inhale, lift the heels and round yourself forward like you did for spinal waves. Same exact motion. Once you get into your high plank, exhale, knees, chest, and chin go down to the floor. Inhale, slide yourself forward. Exhale, push back, child's pose. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, heels are coming closer to the ground. Let's do one last time. Inhale, lift the heels and round yourself forward, high plank pose. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin go down to the floor. Inhale, slide forward. Exhale, push back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, arriving into downward facing dog, sinking the heels as low as they can. We're going to take a couple of breaths here. Now, if by any chance your blocks are all the way on the back of the mat right now, kind of bring them in forward. At least that's what I know I'll need for the practice for myself. So take your time to wiggle around. I'm going to use my legs for that. Good, just so that you can reach them eventually. And then we're meeting in the downward facing dog. Let's find stillness in this one. With your next inhale, right leg is going to go up to the ceiling. Any movements with the right leg, whatever you want to do here. You can circle out the hip flexor. You can bend and straighten your leg. You can circle out your ankle. You know what to do. Just explore that. And then with your next inhale, right leg is going to go up to the ceiling. Open up the hip, point the toes. Exhale, the right is coming in and up. Touch your nose here. You know me, I don't joke about that part. Step the right foot between your hands, preferably no momentum. Left knee goes down to the floor. Melt the chest over the right thigh. Now this is where I love using blocks. If you're with me on that, grab them and place them on either side of the right leg, bringing the floor a little closer to your body. Use the weight of your own body to open up the hips here. Make this pose very, very passive. I promise you will have a bit well, quite a lot of active poses down the road, so make this a passive one. We're going to start moving right away. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hips are going tiny bit lower. Let's do it again. Inhale. And exhale down. Last one. Inhale. Hold it here. Bring the hands to your front knee and start straightening the elbows, creating a tiny little back bend for yourself. You're going to start sending the chest up. If the balance is good, you can start looking up. If the balance is shaky, look straight ahead. Sink the hips lower. The lower the hips are, the better the back bend, because it starts at the hips. And we're going to inhale and lift ourselves out of it. Reach the arms up to the ceiling. Let's do one more back bend. This time, bring the hands behind your head, clasp them together, and then pull the elbows apart. Once you start pulling the elbows apart, you will notice how you start getting into the back bend automatically right away. That's exactly what we want. We don't need any extra movements, and your hands behind your head are like a pillow. Make sure that wherever you are, you can still breathe. And we're going to inhale ourselves back up. Reach the arms up to the ceiling. Take a few moments here. Right hand grabs the left wrist, pull up and over to the right. Same thing as with back bends. If the balance is good, you're looking up. If the balance is shaky, straight ahead. All good with me. And this next part is going to be a little bit tough, but it's going to be very short, so stay with me. Right hand goes down. Definitely recommend block and definitely recommend the second height at least. And we're going to tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee off the floor. Stay with your side body stretch. Now stay with me on this. Lower the back heel down on the ground, 90-degree angle, warrior two legs, and send the chest up to the ceiling. Look up. This is warrior two legs with a back bend. Press into the outer blade of your left foot. Cartwheel the arms around, the deepest warrior two of your entire life. Hold it for a second. Rotate the front palm, exalt. The next inhale lifts you up straight in the front leg. This is it. The tough part is over. I promised you it was going to be short, keeping my promise. Inhale lifts you back up. Exhale, cartwheel the arms around. Hands are framing the front leg. Lift the back heel off the floor. Your hands can go to your blocks or they can go to the floor. Blocks have a few different heights as well. Whatever feels more comfortable, you're creating the practice for yourself. The body is folding over the right thigh. Both legs are as straight as can be at this point. Inhale, halfway lift. Flex the right foot and then exhale, fold. Let's do it again. Inhale, halfway up. As you exhale, your left knee goes down to the floor underneath the left hip. You're going to almost dig the right heel down and back through the mat. You're creating the stretch for yourself. No one else is going to be able to create it for you, and this is a very active one. So if you're just hanging out here, you won't really feel much. You want to push through your hands. You want to send the crown of the head forward. The toes are going back towards your nose. So many things are happening. On top of that, you're still breathing. Let's start moving from this. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bottom of the rib cage down. Let's do it again. Inhale. And exhale down. Last one. Inhale. Good. Hold it here. You're going to bring the left foot out to the side. Walk the hands back, maybe with the blocks. Drag your right heel in with you. And just to test it out, I really recommend putting the block underneath the sit bones and sit on the block. Your left heel is out. We're getting into the left quad. And if this is enough, if you already feel it in the left quad, that's where you're staying. If you need more, you're going to slide yourself off the block and lower down on the floor with the toes pointing straight back and the knees are together. Work on grounding the left hip down. And again, if that's enough, you're staying here. This is your next step. This is your second step. If you need more, if you're sitting on the floor and you need more, I should say, then you can start leaning back. Maybe you lay down on the ground. Who knows where you go with it? Good. Just testing it out. But you know that if the knee comes off the floor, you went a little bit too far. I'm definitely going to sit up right now. The floor is absolutely freezing here. But you're creating the practice for yourself, so pick and choose. And let this one to be kind of a passive stretch as well. Again, we are always finding balance between active and passive, strength and stretch, yin and yang. If you're sitting on the block, you're gonna stay sitting there. If you're leaning back, you're gonna lift yourself back up to meet me at the seated, right, with your body about 90-degree angle. And then from there, no overthinking and no extra movements. You're just gonna lift the left knee up. Once you lift the left knee up, the toes will automatically turn to face the side of the room. Let that happen. Bring the left elbow inside the knee again. If you're sitting on the block, stay sitting on the block. That's totally cool. Bring the right hand to the left shin. Right shoulder inside the right knee. Left arm reaches up and over, side body stretch. I absolutely do not care if you grab your foot or not. What I do care is you engage in your body, engage in your core, and spinning the chest up. You can do this by just engaging your core. If you get to grab your foot, or by the way, another option, just bending the elbow and grabbing somewhere around the knee. If you can do that, your life just became much easier. Congratulations. But if not, you're just engaging the core and you're getting the same benefits out of this pose. Inhale is going to lift you out of it. We're going to bring the left elbow inside the left knee and then try to do this one without using your hands. Your body should be ready for it. Lean forward and lift the hips off the floor. Now I know that this is not easy at all, so if it's not working out right now, just use your hands. That's okay with me. We're going to press into the left heel and lift ourselves into another warrior two. Now this transition is fancy, but it doesn't get us too deep, especially after that warrior two that we've already experienced today. So if you need to wiggle around to create the pose for yourself, go for it. Separate the legs a bit more. We're bringing the right elbow inside the right knee, push it out. Left arm reaches up and over, extend at that angle, look up. Use the bottom elbow to push the knee out, opening the hips more. We're going to bring the top arm behind the head, my favorite arm variation. Grab the left wrist with the right hand, pull it down, spinning the chest even more up. Inhale, straighten the front leg. You're just straightening the front leg. That's all that's happening. Nothing else. Good, and you're going to keep looking up. This is not easy, I know, but go for it. Lift yourself out of this one. Coming back to standing. The obliques are working like crazy. Separate the hands. Cartwheel the arms around hands. Frame the front leg. Now you can use your blocks or you can keep the hands on the floor. That is up to you. You've been here before. Fold over the right thigh. And we're going to move because we've been here before. Inhale, halfway lift. Flex the right foot and then exhale, fold. Good, let's do it one more time. Inhale, halfway up. Push away from the ground, separate the shoulder blades, lift the back heel higher, and then slide your right leg back and up. Open up the hip, point the toes. Right toes are going towards the ceiling. Bend the right knee, look over the left shoulder. You can stay here or carefully flip the dog, stepping the right foot behind you, lifting the hips up and then reaching the right hand towards the front of the room. Think about this as a heart opener, right? We keep saying backbends, but the truth is, forget the word backbend. This is a heart opener. How much more can you open the heart space? Switch your focus. That's going to change your backbend game, I promise. And then we're flipping back around. Right leg goes up to the ceiling. And bring the right knee to touch the left triceps. Again, you know me, I don't joke about that. You're almost on the floor, so look forward to it, but stay with me on this one. Straighten the right leg over to the left. You're going to lower the right foot in line with your hands. Right hand stays down, left arm reaches up, full in triangle, look up. And let's take a deep inhale. Exhale, the hips go down to the floor. Good, you're gonna face the back corner of the room. Don't let it get to you. Left foot is facing the back corner, well, the back side of the room, I guess. The back edge of the room, how do you say it? Anyway, scratch that. Pull the flesh away from your sit bones and you're gonna bring the hands between your legs and start walking the hands between your legs. Your right leg is going towards the side of the room. Again, the left leg is going towards the back of the room, shoulders away from the ears. You can use this pose just to rest, or you can really engage and lengthen your spine. Shoulder blades down the back, shoulders away from the ears. We're going to take a couple of more breaths here. Good. Inhale. You're going to walk the hands back up to lift the chest. Then from here, step the right foot over the left. You're coming to face the back of the room, or what used to be the back of the room. This is our new front of the room. Little spoiler alert for you guys. We're bringing the right hand behind the tailbone. Left elbow, right quad, and twist towards the right side of the mat. Look back behind you. The closer the back end to your glutes, the better the twist, knowing that you can always adjust. And then nothing changes. You're just going to look over the left shoulder. Let it go. Hands outside the left hip. Twist to the other side. Good. And then come back to center. We're going to drop the right knee out. Bend the left leg and bring the hands again super close to your glutes, coming into figure 4 stretch. The closer the hands to your glutes, the better the stretch, because the straighter your spine. That's just how it goes. You're going to flex the right foot and use the strength of the right leg to push the knee out, opening the hip. Shoulders away from the ears, neck is staying nice and long. So I really want you guys to check in with yourself on this one. If this feels good, if this feels enough, then you're staying here. The next pose is only if you need a bit more for that right hip right now. If you do, left foot goes over to the right and you're arriving into your double pigeon. We're working on stacking the knees and heels in one line, the shins in one line eventually. If the pose looks like that, fine with me, right? It's going to be very tempting to slide the bottom foot in a little closer, but don't do it. You'll lose the pose that way. And then just as another layer, you can thread the fingers of your left hand through the toes of the right foot, and then maybe lean forward. One day the shins will touch one another. Trust me, I thought that this day would never come, but evidently it did come for me. And if you're not there yet, I promise you will get there with some consistent practice. Remember to breathe. You're using your breath to get a little bit deeper with every single exhale. We're going to stay here for a couple of more moments. Not super long holds for us, just enough to feel it. And wherever you are, if you're leaning forward, then lift yourself back up to seated. Wherever you are, we're sliding the right knee on top of the left, and we're going to sit between the heels. Now, if this one sounds absolutely impossible, you're going to sit on the block, placing it between your heels. And wherever you are, make sure the right hip grounds down. Floor or block doesn't matter to me. If you're sitting on the block, you're sitting upright. If you're sitting on the floor, you can start leaning forward if you need more. But remember, it's not down, it's actually forward. And once you start doing it, the right hip is going to try to lift. I'm actually so happy right now that my right hip is closer to the camera, because you will be able to see it, right? The moment I lean forward, my right hip wants to lift up, but I really use some force to ground it down. So important. Alignment is everything in this practice. Now we'll take another breath. Good. And wherever you are, the hands are coming in front of you. Even if you're not leaning forward, even if you're on the block, we're going for it. Lean forward and lift the hips off the floor. You're coming into somewhat of a cross-legged tabletop. Something weird, but go with it. Right knee goes out to the side, towards the side of the mat. And then the left leg is going to go straight behind you. You're arriving into your pigeon pose. We're hitting our hips from all angles today, and because the hips are super important for the back bends. And once you arrive into pose, just allow yourself to be there. Let the gravity do the job for you. Let the weight of your body do the job for you. Focus on the breath. Focus on the sensations. And observe the emotions, the thoughts, the feelings that are coming up as you're getting deeper into the practice. Let's do another breath here. Deep inhale. And exhale, let it go. From this one, the next inhale, walk the hands back up. And without dropping down to the right hip, you're going to bend your left knee and send the left hand behind you, grabbing foot or ankle. Quad stretch, squeeze the heel in. And you're going to send the left shoulder forward a bit more. We're going to keep it at a quad stretch right now. You will understand why in just a couple of moments. No back bends for this part. Good. Good, and you're letting go of the quad stretch. Lower back down on the forearms, tuck your left toes under, lift the left knee off the floor, and step the right foot back behind you, coming into your forearm plank. Take a few moments, bodies parallel to the ground, the shoulders over the elbows, the toes are underneath your heels. Let's take a deep inhale. Exhale, hips go down to the floor. Once the hips touch the ground, pull the chest through the arms, opening the heart. And the next inhale, lift the elbows up. You're going to bring the right arm underneath your left armpit. Don't try to reach too far, just a little bit, and then use the weight of your body to straighten the right arm. Forehead goes down to the mat, the left hand goes next to your left hip. Now keep in mind, yoga is about balance. So the moment you start dropping down more to one side than the other, you're losing that balance. So think about it in that terms. Which means that if that right shoulder drops all the way down to the floor and the left shoulder is all the way up, you know you're a bit out of alignment. And we need the shoulder stretch. We need it to prepare us for whatever is next to happen, which I'm super excited about. And you'll see in just a couple of moments why. We're going to move into the weirdest, the funnest pose of this practice right now. You're going to keep the arm exactly as it is, the right arm it is. And then lower the right ear down. You can drop to the right shoulder at this point. Bend your left knee and grab the left foot with the left hand, just like you would for a quad stretch. Your quad is definitely ready for it. We've done a bunch of quad stretches. And then there's going to be a really hard part, and maybe some of us will stop at that. We're going to wiggle around to reach the right hand to grab the left foot. Again, it takes a little bit of time. Take your time, don't rush this. And if you have the grip, then you're going to go further with me because we're getting into this pose in steps. If this is hard enough, then you're just working on this. You're just making your body comfortable in this position. You're going to stop at this step. So if you're moving further with me, bend the right leg and reach the left hand to grab the right foot. We're going to flex the feet. And again, if you're still with me, you're going to kick the legs back and up, coming into funky bow pose. One of my favorite poses. It's not easy, I know. You're going to have to engage your legs like crazy, and you're going to have to push back and up. And then if it worked out, great, amazing. If not, just laugh it off, because probably you have something to laugh about by now. This is not easy pose to get into. And then we're letting it go and just gonna roll ourselves on our backs. Take a few moments, shake it out, scoot yourself to the center of the mat. Good, and then bring the knees into your chest and give yourself a nice loving hug. You can rock a little side to side. You can rock a little up and down. And then we're starting to gain momentum, rocking up and down, and we're going to use that momentum to rock ourselves all the way up into standing forward fold, top of the mat, and shake it out. Beautiful job, bringing more engagement into this forward fold. Hands on the shins, blocks or floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Pull the chest in closer to your thighs. We'll do this again. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, down. Last one, inhale. As you exhale, step back, coming into your high plank with the shoulders over the wrist, the heels on top of your toes. We'll move through Ashtangasana again. Inhale, push the shoulders over the fingertips. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin go down to the floor. Inhale, slide forward. Exhale, push back, child's pose. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, the heels are sinking closer to the ground. Take a few moments here. You can bend and straighten your legs if you want. This is how we'll go to the other side. So take a few moments to get mentally prepared. If you need to slide the blocks to the front of your mat like I just did, go for it. You have time. And with your next inhale, left leg is going to go up to the ceiling. Any movements with the left leg, you're creating it for yourself. You can circle out the hip flexor, you can bend and straighten your legs, you can circle out the ankles. You know what to do, explore. Good, and the next inhale, straighten the left leg up to the ceiling. You open up the hip, point the toes. Exhale, squeeze your left knee in and up, touch your nose here as much as you can. We're stepping the left foot between the hands, same thing as before, preferably no momentum. Right knee goes down, melt the chest over your left thigh, just like before. If you want, grab your props and place them on either side of your left leg. Let the head drop down. Use the weight of your body to open up the hips a little bit more. Sink them down. Your back bends start with the hips. I'm going to have to count how many times I said it through practice, but I can't stress this enough. This is so important. We're starting to move again. Inhale, chest comes up a little. Exhale, hips go down. This can be micro movement. You don't even have to see it, just feel it. Let's do it again. Inhale. And exhale down. Last one, inhale. Bring the hands to the front and start straightening the elbows, creating a tiny little back bend for yourself. You've done that before. Maybe this time you can get an inch deeper. Again, if the balance is good, you're looking up. If not, look straight ahead. And then inhale lifts you out of it. Reach the arms up to the ceiling. I'm going to give you a choice. You can keep the arms up. You can bring them behind your head, or you can reach them down. You're going into one more back bend of your choice. I personally like to reach the arms down. Maybe arms up or hands behind your head like we did before. Speaking more to you right now, then go for it. Listen to yourself. Inhale is going to lift you out of it. Reach the arms up to the ceiling if you need to. Left hand grabs the right wrist, pull it up, lean over to the left. Look up if the balance is good. Good. And remember, we're getting to that tough part, but it's very short. Left hand gets down. Floor blocks. Definitely recommend a block and definitely recommend a second height. We're going to tuck the back toes under, keeping the side body stretch. Lift the back knee off the floor. You're going to lower the back heel down 90-degree angles and lift the chest up, back bend here. Keep the legs exactly as they are. Press into the outer blade of the right foot. Cartwheel the arms around. Warrior two. Look forward. Rotate the front palm. Exhale, left arm up, right and down. Inhale, straighten the front leg. This is it. You did it. The next inhale is going to lift you back up. Exhale, cartwheel the arms around. Hands are going to frame the front leg. Lift the back heel off the floor and fold over your left thigh. Hands can be on your blocks. Hands can be on the floor. Any surface really, as long as they're comfortable somewhere, I am happy. And we're moving again. Inhale, halfway lift. Flex your left foot. Exhale, fold. Let's do it again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, the right knee goes down underneath the right hip. You're melting the chest over your left thigh. There's lots of engagement happening. Imagine you're digging the heel down and back through the mat. You're sending the crown of the head forward. You're pushing through your hands. You're pulling the heel back. And we're moving. Inhale, chest comes up. Exhale, bottom of the ribcage down. Notice I'm not talking about forehead. Notice I'm not talking about the crown of the head. It's the bottom of the ribcage. Let's do it again. Inhale. And exhale down. One last time. Inhale. Right foot goes out. Walk your hands back and drag your left heel in with you. You're going to sit inside your right heel. Now again, just to test it out, because the sides can be very different, sit on the block, placing the block inside the right heel. Keep the knees together, set up the pose, and if you already feel your right quad here, then this is where you stay, because all I care about really is how you feel it. And if you need more, that's when you're going to slide yourself off the block and sit down on the ground. You already know if that's not enough, you're starting to lean back, but only up until the point where the right knee lifts off the floor, starts sliding out, because the moment it does, you know you went a little bit too far. We're not working on how it looks right now, right? That part is just for Instagram. Right now we're working on the health, on the benefits for the body, and we're listening to the body. Therefore, just focusing on the sensations. Close your eyes. Feel. You have some time to come back to your breath if that's what you need. Good. And then from there, if you're sitting on the block, you can stay sitting on the block. If you're leaning back or laying down, you're going to lift yourself up. Use your arms for this. We're meeting and seated. And this next transition, do not overthink it. You're gonna lift the right knee up, and as you're lifting the knee, the toes will automatically turn to face the right side of the room. Heel is gonna land super close to your glutes. Let it happen. Right elbow inside the right knee, push it out. Left hand to the right shin, lower the left shoulder inside the left knee. Right arm is gonna reach up and over, side body stretch. Now again, I don't care if you grab the foot or not. If you can, amazing, your left just became much easier. If not, try bending the elbow and maybe you can reach for your leg. If none of the above, you're just gonna have to engage your core here. You're still spinning the chest up. Imagine that one day the back is gonna be on the floor and the chest is gonna face the ceiling. Probably not happening anytime soon, at least for me, but you're trying. Now with your next inhale, lift yourself back up to seated. Right arm goes inside your right leg. And try doing this without using your hands. Lean forward and lift the hips off the floor. Chest is lifted. If it didn't work out from the first try again, and then maybe use your hands. I'm okay with it. I'm not a monster. We're going to transition into our warrior two from this. Press into the right foot and lift yourself up. The legs should be already set up. You might need longer stance though, because yes, this transition is fancy, but it doesn't get us too deep into the pose. You have to create the pose for yourself. Right left elbow inside the left knee. Right arm is going to reach up and over, side body stretch. You just did the same one sitting on the floor. Now you're doing the thing standing up. But the essence of the pose is the same. Spin the chest out, bring the top arm behind your head. Grab your right wrist with the left hand and pull it down. Make the top elbow disappear behind your head. Nothing changes, straight in the front leg. That's all that's happening. You're going to keep looking up. Good, and keep looking up. The obliques are gonna work like crazy. Inhale lifts you all the way out of it. Beautiful job. Separate the hands. Cartwheel the arms around. Hands are gonna frame the front leg. Again, you can bring them on the block or on the floor. Lift the back heel off the ground. Fold over your left side. Take a few moments here. And then with me, inhale halfway lift. Flex your left foot, exhale, fold. Good, let's do this again. Inhale, halfway. Push away from the ground, separate the shoulder blades, lift the back heel higher, and slide your left leg as high up as possible, coming into your down dog split. Left toes go up towards the ceiling. We're gonna bend the left knee, look over the right shoulder. Stay here or carefully flip the dog. Step in the left foot behind you, lifting the hips up, push into your right foot, and then send the chest to chase the left hand. Left hand is reaching towards the front of the room as well. Remember, heart opener. Now we're flipping back around. I'm getting on the floor after it, but stay with me for this one last little bit. Left leg goes up. You're gonna squeeze the left knee to the right, triceps in and up, cross your body underneath. With a lot of control, straighten your left leg over to the right. And then lower the left foot in line with your hands. Left hand stays down, right arm reaches up, fully triangle, look up again. We're gonna keep the legs as they are. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, hips go down to the floor. Now your right leg is facing the back of the room. Your left leg is facing the side of the room. Don't let it get to you. Hands between your legs. You're facing the back corner of your mat. You're gonna start pulling the crown of the head that way. One more wide-legged forward fold. You can just hang here, you can rest, you can come back to your breath, or you can really work on the length, pulling the chest forward, drawing the shoulder blades down, making sure the shoulders away from the ears. Good. And with your next inhale, we're lifting ourselves out of it. No long holds. Remember, we're going to step the left foot over the right, coming back to face the back of the room. And then bring your left hand behind the tailbone, right elbow to the left quad. You're going to twist towards the left side of the room. The left hand is as close to your glutes as possible. It's almost like it's a second spine. Make sure that your spine is straight here. Look back. And nothing changes. Look over the right shoulder. We're going to let it go. Hands outside the right hip. You're twisting to the other side. Same exact twist, so keep your left hip grounded. And then from here, come back to center. You're going to drop the left knee out, bend the right leg, coming into your figure four stretch. Hands are super close to your glutes. You're gonna lift the chest up. You're gonna draw the shoulder blades down the back, neck is long, flex your left foot and push the left knee out to the side. And as always, staying here, working on your alignment. I want you to check in with yourself and be very, very honest with yourself. If this pose is enough, you're staying here, right? There's no shame. It's literally the same pose as the one next to it, as the next pose. But if you need more, you're gonna heel to the right foot over to the left. That just creates a bit more space for your hip to open. If you're going for the double pigeon, make sure you're stacking your heels and knees in one line, your shins one on top of the other, and then for another layer, for an extra layer, you're gonna thread the fingers of the right hand through the toes of the left foot, and then maybe lean forward. Remember, not about how it looks, it's about how it feels. So what we're trying to get into is that left hip. If you feel it, great, I'm happy. The breath is smooth. You're using your breath to get deeper. The inhales are there to create more space. And exhales are there to get you a little bit further in. Good. Now we're going to inhale and lift ourselves out of it. The left knee is going to go on top of the right, slide it in and sit between your heels. If this one sounds absolutely impossible, you can always sit on the block here. Wherever you are, make sure the left hip is grounded. And then you're straightening out your spine. You can start leaning forward if you're on the floor and you need more. If you're on the block, usually what happens when you start folding forward is that you roll yourself right out of the pose. It's possible not to do it, but it takes a lot of strength and a lot of awareness. So if you're sitting on the block and you need more, just work on getting off the block first. And we're gonna keep the breath going, keep the breath moving through the body, keep that oxygen moving. Just another couple of rounds. If you're sitting on the block, stay there. If you're sitting on the floor, stay there. If you're leaning all the way forward, you'll have to lift yourself up a little bit. We're all bringing hands in front of us. And then lean forward and lift the hips off the floor. We're sliding the left knee out to the side. Make sure the left knee goes all the way to the left side of the mat, and then send the right leg all the way back behind you, coming into your pigeon. Hands, forearms, blocks, floor, all is a fair game. Once you find your pose, relax your body here. I personally love rocking a bit side to side. If you're taking that, make sure that you always come back into middle grounds, right? So before you start exploring, make sure that you get that alignment and you know how it feels so that you can always come back to it. I'm all up for exploration as long as it's conscious movement. As long as you're aware, if that's the case, go for it. Close your eyes, enjoy, observe. What is happening as you're getting deeper and deeper into this practice? Good, and if you're all the way, actually we're all gonna start walking the hands back up and lift the chest up. We need to get that quad prepared for whatever is next to happen. The left hip is not dropping down. You're gonna bend the right leg and send the right hand behind you, grabbing foot or ankle quad stretch. Push the right heel and send the right shoulder forward a bit more. Remember about the breath. Trying to square off the shoulders. Make sure the right knee doesn't start facing out. The moment it does, you're losing half of the pose. We don't want to do that. And then let it go. You're going to drop down on your forearms, tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee off the floor, and then step your left foot all the way back behind you. Forearm plank, the hips are in line with your shoulders, the heels on top of your toes, the shoulders underneath the shoulders over your elbows, the elbows underneath your shoulders. Take another breath. And as you exhale, lower the hips down to the floor. Bring the feet together if they're not there yet, and then pull the chest through the arms, opening the heart. Draw the shoulder blades down the back, neck is long. And then from here, extend the elbows. Left arm goes underneath the right. Don't try to reach too far. We don't need it right now. Just casually drop it down and then use the weight of your own body to straighten the left arm. Right hand goes next to your right hip. Don't worry about going super low. You know that the moment the left shoulder drops too much lower than the right, you're going to get out of the pose. Another great indicator that you're out of the pose if you're not feeling it. If you're not feeling it, check in with your alignment, please. Even if you're super deep in it, I promise you will still feel it if the alignment is right. We're going to take a couple of breaths. And from there, we're going to go into that funky bow pose. So get ready, and remember we're going in steps. You can stop at any step, literally. The first step is just bending the right knee and grabbing the right foot with the right hand. Maybe that's enough, who knows, right? Another quad stretch and it feels good today for you, then you're staying here. If you're going for this next step, this one is the toughest one, so get ready. You're gonna have to wiggle around and place your left hand to the right leg, to the right ankle, to the right foot. Again, wiggle around. Find that for yourself. Not easy. And maybe this is where you stay. If this is hard enough, then stay here. Trust me, I feel you. If you're going to the next step with me, bend your left leg and grab the left foot with the right hand. And from there, if you got that part right, you're going to flex your feet and you're going to kick the legs up and open up the heart. Send the legs up and back, thinking about lifting your chest in the process. Good. Remember to breathe here. And then exhale, let it go. Good. Shake it out. You're simply going to roll on your back and scoot yourself back to the center of the mat. We're going to take a few moments on our back, just a couple of more poses before we wrap up this practice. Bring the knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice loving hug. And then bring the right knee over the left and eagle wrap your legs. You're going to lower the big toes down to the floor. Push the hips over to the right, straighten the arms out to the side and drop the knees to the left. Look to the right side of the room. Try to keep the right shoulder down. Even if that means the knees are not exactly touching the ground, that's okay. We always want to finish off the back bend practice with nice twists, just to bring yourself back into alignment to center. And then come back up. You're going to scooch the hips back to the center, lift the feet off the ground, and simply separate the legs and bring the left knee over the right. Eagle wrap to the other side. The arms can stay out into a T. You don't have to move them at all. Lower the feet down, push the hips over to the left a little bit, and then drop the knees to the right. You're going to look towards the left hand, the left shoulder stays down. If that means the knees do not touch the floor, that is okay. Remember to breathe. The sides can be very different. This side is actually much tougher for me right now. Wow, I never noticed that before. Now we're coming back to center. Good. Come back. Bring your hips to the center of the mat. Lift the feet up. Release the eagle wrap and give yourself a nice loving hug. Squeeze the knees into the chest. Take a moment to thank yourself for making it to the mat today. And when you feel ready, open up your body for your final posture of the practice, your final shavasana, taking your time here to let the body take in everything you just did. I really encourage you to stay here for the next 5 to 7 minutes, just being, just feeling. And I want to thank you so much, Yogi, for joining me here for this practice today. I hope you enjoyed it. And from my heart to yours, namaste.